Alright, here's a new deck, the final one on the list of new dragon decks I wanted to try. Now, we've all seen Dragon Warrior before. It tends to be a bit more aggressive. In fact, you can see a version of it to the left. So Life Coach's version is on the far left there. And I suppose the first thing to do is wonder, why am I making this deck more control-oriented? Isn't Dragon Warrior strong enough? Are you weakening the deck by building a control variant? And the answer to that is maybe, but that is why we perform science. So Dragon Warrior is a mid-range deck, well, as it's traditionally been known. It's got some late-game cards as well, and just tries to fill out a curve. This control deck tries to do much the same, but it just has different tools to do it. So instead of a card like N'Zoth's First Mate or Sir Finley Murgleton, it adds in 2 Shield Slams, which are clearly better for the late game. Instead of Fairy Dragon, it runs Netherspite Historian, which is clearly better for the late game. Instead of Fierce Monkey, it runs Bran Bronzebeard, and instead of Frothing Berserker, it runs Shield Block, like if we're just going to compare similar costs. Both of those are clearly better for the late game. I've got a Brawl, which is because there isn't as much early game, we need to catch up sometimes. Bookworm instead of Draconid Crusher is clearly a more reactive choice. Justicar Trueheart instead of the Curator is clearly for the late game. And Ysera instead of Ragnaros is also clearly for the late game. So there's quite a few changes here, and they all make the deck slower and different, and not necessarily worse, I'd say, but maybe worse. Another deck to compare it with is the deck list over to the left, which is another version of another version of Dragon Warrior. Compared to the other version of Dragon Warrior, it has a Slam, it has Deathwing, it has Gromish. Looks like it decided to cut a Draconid Crusher for one of the bigger dragons, so basically Draconid Crusher moved up to Deathwing. But yeah, the Curator has added the 2 Fierce Monkeys also. So the idea of this deck, I suppose, is Fierce Monkey isn't a strong enough card, Curator isn't a strong enough card, Sir Finley Murgleton isn't a strong enough card. We're going to take a more traditional warrior control deck and try to do well with that.
Victory or death! Bring it on!
Acolyte Pain probably too slow to keep if he is Dragon Warrior. Wonder if I keep Twilight Guardian. I have very few 4s, so I'll keep it. So one may wonder, with Dragon Warrior already being a deck, a more aggressive version, why even try a control version? Well, to that I would answer, I suppose, science has to be done. Maybe this version ends up being better, maybe it just ends up being situationally different, possibly better in the mirror? Maybe, I'm not sure. This is gonna seem strange, but he armored up on turn 1, well, turn 2. I think Netherspite Historian is going to be played with Bran Bronzebeard if he's super control. Like Cthulhu control or N'Zoth control or whatever control.
Let the pain speak to me. Let the pain speak to me.
This deck can't beat super control. No, you tell my 4 super big dragons. With a card like Elise, it seems like he is control. I believe Dragon Warrior, like the traditional Dragon Warrior, curvy Dragon Warrior, aggro Dragon Warrior, whatever, also has problems with super control. This might end up being a fatigue game. So I suppose 1 draw is good enough. Also, this is a good trade. Nice. That's the thing I kind of realized by playing Dragon Paladin.
Death to the pretender.
Which is that these 2 cards are surprisingly late game when you match them with Bran. It's really flexible, which is why Discover is such a cool mechanic, and Discover a Dragon in particular is really cool because you can either discover early game defensive cards like Twilight Guardian or Fairy Dragon, or we can discover like 4 Ysera. Do I give that a shield slam? It's my premium removal. Since I'm already ahead on fatigue, I think I just go ahead and draw the cards and run them out of threats, or run them out of answers. If this were a more control-heavy deck, I might consider not playing shield block there. Looks like he's an N'Zoth deck. I'll have to save the brawl for N'Zoth. Maybe. I probably could have hit face there, but it doesn't matter that much. Using this to rack up damage and saving this is actually pretty good though. So I don't want to play into Brawl, so I'll only have 2 minions at a time on the board, I think. Next turn it's looking like I'm going to toss the coin. Goodbye, coin. I don't want to play Ysera because 1 brawl, 2, he has enough to just shield slam her. Might be better to try to... Well, or I could just play Alex Draws as champion. Alright. This will always draw a brawl. But it's not that bad. 2 drop, weakened 4 drop, 5 drop which drew a card. Alright, next turn looks like the coin gets tossed. Or maybe I Blackwing Corruptor face. I have 2 bookworms for... I have no idea what... I'll just go ahead and do that to the face. It's fine. Like, if I kill off his armor, I can play Ysera. I'm also not that far behind on fatigue. 3 cards?
I have no time for games.
This would be a good turn to play another Spite Historian Bran and trade, but unfortunately I don't have the Bran. Could force him to grab this and then bookworm it, but that's really dumb. I think on this turn I just toss the coin away. Goodbye, sweet coin. Three, 6, 8, 10. Oh wait, it is bad since I'm full on cards. I'd play 4 cards, and then I would draw 4 cards, and I have 10 cards. That's not good right now. So he'll go up to 10, which is lethal with the Fire War Axe for Shield Slam. Also, I don't actually have enough mana. Or, I don't have enough cards. I can Blood to Ichor plus Ysera. That's okay, I guess. This card is pretty bad in this matchup. But Slam would be possibly even worse. Maybe. So I have to save that card for N'Zoth. He's only one card ahead of me in Fatigue now, so this could actually win Fatigue.
For the Life Binder. For the Dragon Queen.
This end is going to be so awesome. Ending. Oh, Gorehowl. I have 9 cards in hand. The rest of my deck is pretty useless. The shield block is, now that we're so close to Fatigue, it's probably no good. I want to skip 4 armor for a turn. Well, now I'm too late. I'm tempted to like bait out his monkey and then play Brand Nether Spite, and if he isn't expecting, that's probably unrealistic.
Who knows what secrets will astonishing.
Alright, Skilled Nightmare is a must-deal-with threat. Malagos, Blood to Ichor. I have very few cards left, so Chromagus not so good.
Once upon a time.
Astonishing. I must choose.
So, since Malagos, Blood to Ichor is a kill, I guess this is fun.
I must choose.
So I think the play here is to attempt to make him do the monkey before I play my cards. Or I could simply play my worst card right here. Alright, go!
I'm almost out of cards. Let reading
Alright, so Malagos, Blood to Ichor for 1 hard removal, Brawl against N'Zoth, and then others.
I'm out of cards. I'm almost out of cards.
Well, I win if I don't do anything. We'll play N'Zoth, we'll get back Sylvanas, Cairn, 2 Infested Tauren. If I play Sarah, I guarantee Shield slams it.
What now?
It's gonna be a tough game. I have to make sure his removal is turned into legendaries. Roll first, Malagos plus Blood to Ichor takes out Bane. Then there's only 2 2/2s, I think. I unfortunately have a armor advantage. And I could play Acolyte in the Brawl. Some days he'll take the Acolyte. Actually, most of the time he'll take the Acolyte. Which is good. But most of the time he'll take the Acolyte, I mean barely ever. If I'm lucky, I guess. Oh. It's pretty good.
Astonishing. Astonishing.
Is that good? I'm not sure.
Astonishing.
I was gonna use this for hard removal. This armor up is basically the same. Wait, I just gave him a 1-3 for nothing. Oh, okay. Tricked, I guess. Alright, so it's 3, 5, 9, 11 damage. So now might be time to play the Ysera.
I dream and the world trembles.
His hard removal is gone. Needs 1 damage, but 6 legends might not do it. Looks like it's doing it though. Oh no! Despair. Sarah awakens? Oh. Sarah Awakens might have actually done it.
Astonishing. For Doomhammer, victory or death.
That game was really stable on the bright side, but as against the control warrior.
We hunger for vengeance.
It's probably one of those Spirit Claws decks. See Blood Mage Thalnos? Think Spirit Claws. I think it's correct to Blood to Ichor Execute. It's probably not correct, actually. Maybe it's correct to double Blood to Ichor. That's probably correct.
What now?
Need to save the Execute for the 7/7. Okay. Probably use the Shield Slam on this guy. I think next turn I go ahead and point out Justicar. It's true, Maelstrom would have been pretty bad there.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, champion.
Playing against a slower Shaman, it appears.
My totems! My pretty totems! My pretties! My pretties!
Oh. Cute. It's mixing up the Spirit Claws with the Wicked Witch Doctor. Such a remix. Alright, go ahead. Shield Slam the 4/4. I'm waiting for his Totem Activator. The Brawl. tempted not to play this since I have an activator from, but I'll play it.
There is a lot at stake here.
Good thing I have the Brawl. Makes me want to put in a second Brawl. This deck isn't as bored as I thought it was. Although that may just be draw variants. Variants of draw, that is. But certainly without Brawl, that would have been done for there.
Did you bring some fish?
So you can go Bran into Ravaging Ghoul, and deal 4 to everything. Well, actually, it would deal 2 to Bran, and then 2 to Bran, 2 to the Ghoul. Which is distinctly different from 4 to everything. Play a Sarah might just get hexed.
What now?
Probably just gets hexed. Could go Bran Azure, but I miss an armor up. Shield block 3, 5, 8, 9. Let's see. That's a good one.
There is a lot at stake here.
Might be time to do the Bran Ghoul. Probably time to do it, in fact. Especially since he so kindly set that to under 4. 4 or under. I mean, 4 to everything is pretty unexpected in this deck, to be fair.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
The deck might not actually run the 4-mana 7/7.
Well played. My thanks.
I think that's more of what people like in Hearthstone, when you can play cards in interesting ways. Like that. That made me feel pretty cool. Thanks for making me feel cool, Blizzard.
For the life binder. For the dragon queen.
I like to feel cool when I'm playing games. The winds of Hearthstone right now are strongly against Curvestone. But I think that's just the hipster thing to be complaining about. I mean, it's a fair complaint. That's why I try to mix it up. Perform science. Like, that's pretty cool too. To have cards which rely on other cards. Wow. I thought I had just stabilized there, but suddenly... Probably have to eat this thing. It's scarier than that thing. Yeah, I have the health.
Let reading dragons lie.
He actually hasn't cast a Hex a single time, which means that 2 Hexes are probably in his deck.
I wield the power.
It's scary for poor Ysera. Alright, don't top deck Ysera. I mean, Hex, the Ysera killer.
I dream in the world.
Give me Ysera Awakens, the original RNG. Oh. You had like a 1 in 4 chance of top decking Hex right there. I'll try not to be too bitter. Also, I don't have a dragon anymore. Ah, that's a dragon.
I wield the power of Black Wind.
I think I take the damage to me. 12, 16, yeah.
I shall bring rest.
Can argue taking 5 damage on Ysera is better since he's got 2 hexes in his 7 card deck. But I also have a lot of health. He can't possibly run Bloodlust since he runs 2 Thunderbluff Valiant. It'd be too redundant.
For the life binder. For the dragon queen. I shall bring you rest.
Is there trouble?
That was a mistake.
My totems! My pretty totems!
There's his hex at last.
My pretties!
Actually, maybe misplay? By not summoning the totem first. You might have gotten stranded. Ooh.
Let reading dragons
Alright. And my funnest cards are on the bottom of my deck. Well, depends on what you think fun is. I think Nevis Fight Historian is a riot.
Once upon a time.
Probably that one.
barbaric.
I can dream this one, but I can also dream the other one.
I'm almost out of cards. Barbaric.
Once upon a time.
That's incredible.
The ultimate plot twist. There, I'll take this as a just in case something happens that I couldn't possibly foresee play.
I'm game.
You win this one.
The ultimate trump card.
Let the hunt begin. Victory or death.
Pretty much the only question is it worth a charge of Fire War Axe? I guess so, so I can keep the board clear to play Bran on turn 3. which is also another question. Do I play Bran on turn 3? And by making this play, I increase the chances that I'm going to play Bran on turn 3.
To my side.
But instead, Bloodtaker. I can kill that to play around Houndmaster. Could actually kill all of it, and then play Bran. It's kind of tough for him to deal with this. The next turn I can play Azure Drake. Seems pretty good. Although, to be fair, it turns out that drawing 2 Fire Orax is pretty good. Yum. It's kind of like chess, where you make a play not expecting value immediately, but you expect value in the future. And I got the draw a card effect off of Bran. After all, setup plays are awesome. I like his boldness, that makes sense. I have no dragon in my hand. That's pretty awkward. Probably play Justicar as an 8-drop. I think Shield Block, Armor Up, and Dalek draws as champion maybe? Or I can actually draw a dragon. Pretty likely, right? Only 5 dragons and 18 cards. Not that likely. I actually will probably skip the Armor Up. Just play this and Acolyte. Or my play is pretty easy now.
For the life binder. For the dragon queen.
Choose.
Put this apple on your head.
Nope. Oh, old school. Womp womp. 4, 7, 8, 11.
The better to eat you with.
And now, Hunter, for your daily dose of despair.
Grand tournament champion.
I wield the power of Blackwing.
Disqualified.
The feeling that control players love. I can do whatever I want and still win.
Well fought. I concede.
I must protect the wild.
Victory or death!
Oh, it's a Beast Druid! Beast Druid in 2016. It's kind of sad to think about that, right? The life and times of Beast Druid. It was not very long. Turns out that the testing on Menagerie Warden was apparently fair. Oh, isn't that cute? Guess I'll kill it for 1 mana.
Bring pain. Pain, speak to me.
Pay attention, class. For the life binder. For the life binder. For the dragon queen. For the dragon
Interesting hybrid of control and aggro. Control and mid-range. Backlight of Pain isn't doing that well. But hopefully it can kill this 1-drop and draw a card. That almost always happens. Ooh, that's a good one. The dream. After playing with this deck enough times though, I can start seeing why it may not be as good as Dragon Warrior Original. It adds in shield slams and shield blocks. But it's kind of tough to get the shield block value. It has another Spite Historian brand combo, which is awesome, but maybe I should just put in big good cards. Maybe. Initial theories.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Sure, it's hard to resist.
Welcome to the grand.
Welcome to the grand tournament, though.
For the dragon queen.
Unleash the beast.
Once
Plot
upon a
twist.
time. Once upon a time.
Disqualified.
Oh, another Spite Historian is probably my favorite card of Karazhan. Even if it doesn't actually end up working in quite a few decks.
Where shall I start?
Gimme, gimme.
Druid. Wild is mine to control. Where shall
In
I
Bookworm, eating Violet Future makes me happy.
let the chains
I hadn't actually intended to damage that so the copy was worse, but that's actually a play too. Kind of.
I can see.
You might expect me to be more excited by a 3-in-1 result, but I just internally keep comparing this deck to Dragon Warrior Original, and I'm like, huh. I wonder if I would be more happy with Dragon Warrior. I wonder if the results would be better with Dragon Warrior. To be determined.